Hello, I'm John Bailey, the architect working with the Archbishop's Palace Conservation Trust to design and oversee the restoration of the Northwest Tower and the Gatehouse and create an interpretation centre for the Darenth Valley and a study centre. The work on the Gatehouse is relatively straightforward. We propose to install a mezzanine floor to give more space for an office and the archive, together with a toilet and small kitchen. The new structure will not touch the existing fabric, so if it was ever required, it could be removed to return the building to its current condition. The challenge comes with the tower, where we will introduce the missing floors and replace the roof. As conceived around 1512, the great courtyard was visually anchored on its four corners with substantial towers, of which only the northwestern tower remains substantially intact. The tower has lost some of its gravitas by the relatively recent removal and modification of the parapet and the top staircase turret. However, it is still imposing and dominates this corner of the palace field. The tower was originally conceived to be seen with substantial ranges of buildings to the north and west, a full stop on the corner allowing the courtyard to turn through 90 degrees. Today, the northern range is reduced in status but still gives a tangible hint to the relationship of the range to the tower, which remains dominant. The western range has been completely lost but survives archaeologically below ground. In looking at the provision of the essential facilities that are required to allow the surviving tower to be given a sustainable and viable future, various options have been looked at for a modest extension, both modern and single-storey and more interventionist. The current proposal, which responded to clear guidance given by Historic England, aims to reduce the accommodation needed in any extension to the minimum necessary to provide a viable future. The orientation, scale and footprint try to echo the line of the now lost Western Range without in any way trying to recreate it, and means the tower will be seen with attachments to the north and west as it would have been 500 years ago. We do not believe the ruined southern elevation of the tower, where the original western range has been removed, is so significant as to prevent the addition from occurring, and the scale is within the roof scar lines that existed on the tower itself. The new extension nods its head to the lost structure without trying to emulate it. It should be noted that there was a single-storey extension to the building in this location in the 16th century. You can still see the channels in the tower brickwork and the remains of Tudor plaster on the west elevation of the garderobe tower. This lobby will provide a central space for the entrance to the interpretation centre and small shop. The design philosophy is for it to be visually lightweight and allow the historic structures to be dominant. The new building could always be removed in the future, allowing the surviving historic fabric to be returned to the position it currently is in. The new building will also be designed to limit the impact on the scheduled ancient monument. The ground floor of the tower will house the main part of the interpretation centre and will be constructed to give a realistic impression and feel of a high-status Tudor room of the early 16th century. The ceiling will display timber boarding as if it were the floor of the room above, although in practice there will be two layers of boards separated by insulation to meet modern fire regulations. The first floor, which is also part of the interpretation centre, will be less decorated, and this diminution will continue to the second floor. The first and second floors will use oak beams, but the new roof will employ steel girders to carry the load of the solar panels above. The ground floor will be reinstated with materials commensurate with the quality of this historic building. The temporary parapet around the roof dating from 1982 and repaired in 2017, will be replaced with a higher structure to conceal solar panels and the input from the water harvesting system. The roof provides a significant area for water harvesting and should provide adequate grey water for the toilets. The roof area will be used for electricity generation employing photovoltaic panels. These will be out of sight from ground level. Little remains of the original spiral staircase in the stair tower beyond part of the central newel and the recesses in the walls that held the treads. The staircase will be restored and extend beyond the second floor to provide access to the roof. This will enable access to the solar panels and the drains for water harvesting. The new extension will also house a lift to enable disabled access to the first floor and a disabled toilet. The possibility of extending the lift to the second floor has been considered and regretfully rejected because of the damage to the historic fabric that would be caused by creating a new opening in the southern wall of the tower. This is an ambitious project, but one that will create for the community an interpretation centre and study centre and give the palace a future for years to come.